Thank you, Don, for that beautiful intro. I'm Joe Sherwood, and I'm going to be serving as your celebration assistant this morning at Evansville's virtual service. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And this is the fifth Sunday of August, and that means Jeanie Ward is here to be with us. And her topic today is the power of willingness. Thank you, Jeanie, for being with us as well. We're looking forward to your message. You have let us know that willingness creates space for something new. It opens portals to endless possibilities and potential transformation. As we choose to be open and willing, we can begin to awaken to discover and to experience the divine, its presence, power, and promise. Sounds wonderful. I'm willing. And I know our daily word is aware. I think that goes right along with this message. I do have a few announcements. Canuck is only 2 days away. I can't wait. This Tuesday, it's beginning this Tuesday and it ends after lunch on Friday. I'm really looking forward to the theme of come home into the mystic, and this retreat conference is open to everyone. So if you want more details of what's going to be going on there, go to the unityretreat.us and look for their schedule. I know Reverend Jim Rosemergy will be the keynote speaker, along with who I know as Karen Taylor Good. The performing musicians are now Stowe Good. It's Stowe Good. I'm looking forward to how they are joined together and presenting their special music. So it's exciting stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. Maybe you can join us as well. For all upcoming news and events, as usual, please check the calendar on our website. And if you're not receiving our Thursday weekly newsletter in your email, you can sign up for that on the website as well. I think it's on the bottom right of the home screen. So I would like to give a special welcome to any first-time visitors today. In welcoming you, and if you're not familiar with Unity of Gainesville, I'd like to take this opportunity to share what I really appreciate about Unity of Gainesville. In the times that we're experiencing and the struggles we're going through, I have developed a very strong appreciation and commitment to our founding members. They have built this church from the ground up and made it happen over 20 years ago. And we are just so grateful to them and committed to maintaining and growing as their vision has been, and wanting to follow along with that. So thank you, founding members. You know who you are. With that, I would like to ask Don to bless us with his next song, We Raise Our Voices.
Fix that. We good now? voices together in song. Our hearts are open as we sing along. Worries and care seem to fade away when we come together in song. Hear our voices, together we're one tapestry, lifting our song to the heaven, we're singing in harmony. We raise our voices together in song. Our hearts are open as we sing along. Worries and cares seem to fade away when we come together in song. Hear our voices, together we're one tapestry, lifting our song to the heaven, we're singing in harmony, we're singing in harmony.
Thank you so much, Don. My name is Darlene Becker. I'm one of the prayer chaplains here at Unity of Gainesville. I would like to read to you from the Daily Word. The theme for today is awareness. The affirmation is the world feels new as I grow in awareness. And if you would say that with me from home, the world feels new as I grow in awareness. Spending time in mindful contemplation increases my awareness of my surroundings. As I concentrate and focus my attention, I shut out distractions and settle my unquiet mind. My world begins to feel brighter, vibrant, and more alive as I notice the soft sounds and minute textures and colors that I overlooked before. Spending time in prayer increases my awareness of God's goodness, which I share with others when I am patient and kind, generous and forgiving. This goodness returns to me as kindness and gentleness in the people I meet, in ease and grace in the places that I go. The world has not changed, but I have. My awareness of God in and as my life has opened my eyes and ears, my mind and my heart. Open my eyes so that I may behold wondrous things out of your law, from Psalm 119, verse 18. And now, for those that may be visiting, I would like to share with you how to request prayer. You can go to our website and click on the button, or you can download the free You Pray app. It's available on Android and iPhones, and it's a wonderful app to have. It goes directly to Silent Unity. All of our prayers are placed in our prayer box, which is virtual today. We will be praying over them during the service. There's, again, a list of ways to request prayer on our website. And now this is a great opportunity to speak the names of people that you know and love that have requested prayer. If you'll mute yourself and you can go ahead and say their names out loud, we'll take that into sacred space and offer up their prayer. And I would also like to add, for the people in Afghanistan that are remaining, that are in conflict, and for any Hurricane Ida victims that are struggling at this moment. anyone that's dealing with pain and suffering. And for this, we say, thank you, God. We know for these names spoken and unspoken that God is the active energy of life, love, and help. As we release this prayer to the energy of the divine, we know and affirm that all is working for the very highest and best in all conditions. And so it is. Amen. And now I would like to invite Reverend Jeanie to present her message, The Power of Willingness. Reverend Jeanie.
Thank you so much, Darlene. Welcome, everybody, to the wonderful service this morning for Unity of Gainesville. As always, it is my true honor and delight to be here with all of you, co-creating this experience. And I thank all of you who are part of the team this morning to make this happen, and for all of your wonderful energies and love to be blended together in this wonderful experience this morning as we shine the light here as the conduit for Unity of Gainesville, knowing that that light and wonderful energy is going throughout the world. Darlene just mentioned Afghanistan and all the places throughout this planet and world where we know that Unity of Gainesville, I envision it as a lighthouse to where it can truly shine its light and be that for those who are struggling in their human experience to see the light and to find hope in moments of challenge and in the pain and suffering throughout our world. So welcome here. We're delighted to have you. And again, thank you all for being here. I'm excited to actually bring a message to you this morning about a consciousness. Actually, it's the power of willingness. And I believe for Unity for this month, it's the power of will is the theme for Unity for this month. And I wanted to take that energy and expand it a little further. You know, typically we hear where there's a will, there's a way. And we think of, sometimes I think in our human minds, we have this idea that we have to will it, we have to make it happen. And if we can just think about it hard enough and push it and force it, then okay, we've got that will, and that's how things manifest. That's how things come about. And I wanted to offer you a different way, a different perception of that energy of will this morning. We can expand it into willingness. And I personally like, one of my mantras is, instead of where there's a will, there's a way, I like to embrace the energy of where there's willingness, there's a way. And to me, that shifts it a bit. And, you know, if we are open to the idea that we are energy beings in this beautiful earth suit that God has created and shown, is showing up as us and through us, it gives us the opportunity to hold a different idea, a divine idea about all that we are. And the consciousness of willingness is a very powerful one. You know, David Hawkins, some of you may be familiar with his work over the years, where he created a scale of consciousness and he measured different states of energy, if you will. And, you know, we think of when we're in fear or when we're in guilt or shame or anger, a lot of different energies that we can all experience and be in that type of frequency. But willingness is a little bit above that. And actually it measures about 310, 315 on the consciousness scale, which is like from 0 to 1,000. And when you think of certain ascended masters, and I will use Jesus in this case, he calibrated somewhere around 1,000. Okay. And so when we hear that, we go, whoa, that's something that I don't know that I could ever aspire to. But what I believe we're called for is, we are no different than that amazing ascended master. When we get out of our human mind and we stop trying to figure it out and make sense of it, we open ourselves up. And that's what willingness to me is. It's a different kind of energy to where we say, you know what, no matter what my mind is telling me, no matter what, and I call it BS, no matter what my belief system has been about throughout my life, because our beliefs are things that we've accumulated, you know, in our subconscious. It's the stories, it's the labels, it's the narrative that we have been weaving throughout our human experience here. But we are not that. We are so much more than that. So when we say, I am, we know what those two words already send out into the universe. I am willing. The universe goes, okay, perhaps now there's a bit of a shift, and then we can collectively, and each of us individually, begin to experience more of the essence and the truth of who and what we are. That's when a different resonance happens, and we begin to see, not just through our human eyes, because right now it's a little challenging to look out in the world right now and to see what is going on and to witness that in our human experience, because our hearts are certainly touched by that and affected in some way, to where we know there is pain, we know there is suffering, we know there is so much going on in the world out there that it makes it challenging for us to be a witness to that and to hold the high watch, or to see it through divine eyes, and to remind ourselves that no matter what we see, no matter what we feel, no matter what we experience in our human self, that God, the divine, is everywhere, in, around, and through all things at all times. And when we are willing to say, okay, I want to see this differently, I am willing, even though we may not have a clue how to do whatever it is that we are saying we are willing to do, it doesn't matter, because as soon as we say, I am willing, it's like, okay, there's that opening, what Joe read at the beginning of this service this morning. Willingness, it creates portals, and it's an opening. And in that opening, we are invited to go into that place and to truly experience something differently. And in that place is where all the miracles already are. And we have the opportunity to tap into those and to bring those into our human journey, into our human experience. When I was mentioning David Hawkins earlier, one of the things that he shared about the energy of willingness is that growth becomes very rapid at this level of consciousness. Okay, because you think of willingness, what have you already said? You've already said, you know what, I'm going to be open to it, which means I'm not going to be as constricted, and perhaps I'm not going to have the resistance to something maybe that I've had and may not even be conscious of. Because a lot of times we can be resistant to something, which is, in my mind, fear-based, and we can have that but not even know that it's there. We just know that we're pushing against something and we're totally oblivious to it. But at this level of consciousness, when you say, I am willing, again, growth becomes rapid at this level as the self gains a lot of positive energy, because that's a holy shift moment. When we say, I am willing, it's like holy shift. And that's what happens. All we need is the slightest opening. Yes? It's like that's how the light gets in. Think of the crack in the sidewalk, and one day there's nothing there. And the next day you walk by, or maybe that afternoon, and what is emerging from the crack in that sidewalk? That's where the light gets in. So there's a shift there that allows that divine energy to pour through there. And life always, creation always finds a way to express, just as it does in each and every one of you, uniquely as you. And we all have the opportunity and the joy and the blessing to express collectively. And that's where we get hung up a lot of times, because we're feeling that really tough energy out there right now that it can be very uncomfortable. And guess what? as human beings, we don't want to be uncomfortable. We're like, no, 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 no. I want to stay in my safe little comfort zone. I don't want anybody to disturb that. And I don't want to look around me and expose myself to anything. So we constrict, we kind of hide. And sometimes we do it intentionally, but sometimes we're very unconscious about it. And please know that wherever you are in any of that process, in your process and in your journey, is absolutely perfect. That's where you are in your journey, in your growth and expansion and in your learning. And there is never any criticism or judgment about that except what you might put on yourself. And say, you know, we can impose that on ourselves and say, well, why am I not able to be more open? Why am I not able to see this differently? To me, when we have that awareness, it's like the key. Awareness becomes the key. Perhaps I'm not as open. So let me pay attention and be aware, because that is one of the things that allows us to begin to address the resistance. If, and that's the big if we what? Choose to. If we choose to, because it is a choice. It's a conscious choice we make. And again, it's so freeing, at least what I continue to find in my life, and maybe for you too, to be able to say, you know what, God, you know what, spirit, whatever, universe, whatever word you use, it doesn't matter. It hears you. And to say, I really want to understand this. I want to understand somebody else's perspective or whatever's happening in the world out there. But I don't have a clue because I'm caught up in my own stuff. I'm holding myself hostage in my own resistance. And my heart feels a little closed off. And my mind is just spinning, you know, and I don't know what to do with all of it. But as soon as we say, I am willing to learn, I'm willing to grow, I am willing to what? Trust. That is a massive opening, and it expands even further because we are here, is what I believe, to grow, to expand consciousness, to evolve, and to allow the divine to have its most amazing, magnificent expression as each and every one of us. That is so, I have no words for it. I become speechless at times because to me, in our human language, there's no way to express it. To me, it's a sensation. It's that coming together, the oneness of knowing that we truly are one with the divine and we are that expression. So he goes on to say, we gain a lot of positive energy and we become freer. That's what I was just saying. It's like we're no longer holding ourselves hostage. We become freer from the negative anguish of that denser energy. And you know what I'm talking about. When you tap into what's happening around you at times, what do you sense? You know, what is there? Because we are what? Spiritual beings, if that's what you believe, but we're having what? A human experience. What I like, the word I like is somatic. For those of you who are familiar with the word somatic, we are going to feel it in our body. We are going to sense it in our body. And if we are, again, awake and aware, then we can use those wonderful little, you know, nudges and those sometimes uncomfortable pushes and say, okay, I am I go, I am I don't know, maybe. we go, you know, we go into that place of doubt and uncertainty. And to me, it is the most powerful opportunity to say, what is it that I truly believe in? What do I truly believe in? And what am I going to anchor into as I am witnessing all that's happening around me and as I'm feeling in this very somatic experience in my body? How do I navigate my own inner terrain in my physical body where I'm feeling it? We may not even know, because you know what we've done sometimes on our journey? We've had to learn how to protect ourselves when we have felt unsafe. And trauma happens, but we don't recognize it often as trauma. but little things, big things have happened along the way in the journey here since you've been on this planet. And I believe very much in ancestral patterns and in ancestral things that have been handed down to us individually, collectively. So to say, I am willing to open myself to the love and to the light and to all that I am, and to know something different, to know the divine in a way that I have never experienced it before. Wow. How blessed we are with these opportunities for continued growth and expansion. And earlier, I think, Darlene, one of the words I heard in what she was reading, I believe it was her or either Dawn in music. Anyway, the word I heard was tapestry. And that is one of my favorite words, because when we remember that we are all like these beautiful threads of the divine weaving this collective tapestry, that we are going to affect the totality of that experience. And, you know, when you think of a tapestry, or I think of even fabric, and think of the fabric of your life, if you will. And we have the lumps and the bumps and the different things. And sometimes life is like really smooth and we're just cruising along. And other times it's like, oh, here's a little bump here. And oh, here's a big bump. And then we get thrown over. All of that, that's the collective soup. That's the collective fabric that has been woven out of our fears, out of our doubts, out of the strengthening of our faith, all of the bits and pieces that come together to weave into that fabric. So when you touch it and you have the texture of life, the collective consciousness of life, sometimes we will feel the lumps and the bumps, but what does it do? It brings a dimensionality. It brings the texture. It brings an energy that is so rich and so full of all of life, the dark, the light, the times when we're in the fear, the times when we're feeling strong in our faith. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. The contrast. We're seeing so much contrast right now. We're experiencing the dark and the light and everything in between, the full spectrum of life. And when we can say, I am willing to stand right where I am, and I am willing to dive deeper. And that's what I am inviting everyone to do this morning. When you are feeling it from out there, in the world out there, you all have heard, be in the world, but not of the world. But when we're feeling it, I invite you to dive deeper. Because when we're in that fight or flight, which is part of our autonomic nervous system, which is how we're wired, we could just take off and run. And sometimes that's what we do. And that's okay. But I'm inviting you to say, take that deep breath, allow God to breathe me, let life to flow through me, let me look at my practices that I'm using. How willing am I to explore even further and see, you know, what is here? To go within and dive deeper. What am I afraid of? Is there something there that I have been pushing aside? Am I afraid of my judgment of the world out there? What is it that's coming up for me that I'm truly being called to take a look at? I am willing to what? Be the greatest, most magnificent expression of all that I was created to be. To be all of what I am. So I invite all of you who are listening to this now, and whoever may listen to this divine message this morning, as I am so delighted to be the channel for that and the conduit for it, to say, yes, I am willing to dive deeper. Because as I am willing, that's what at the beginning when Joe was reading about the power and the presence and the promise is what? I am with you always. I am with you always. That's the assurance of knowing that however I choose to dive deeper, to go within, to explore those nooks and crannies within me that maybe I have avoided before for whatever reason, that I am not going in there alone. And I am willing to open myself up to that knowingness, to that support, and to know that in that space of willingness, there's a grace in there, there's a guidance, there is an energy unlike any other that will be like your inner GPS, that will be like the anchor to keep you tethered. Even when you're feeling like, okay, I'm floating out here and I'm confused again and the world is spinning around me. I'm so confused and it's spinning and spinning. I think years ago, back in the 60s or 70s, there was a song, it was called The Ball of Confusion, I think it was back then. And sometimes, I don't know about you all, but I certainly feel like, okay, here we go, round and round and round. But in that moment, you already have within you, whether you're aware of it or not, the ability, because you were already equipped with what? All that you could ever need. It's already there to say, okay, I'm going to do what I'm called to do now in my practice, or maybe I'm saying, you know what, I'm willing to learn some new things. I'm willing to expand my, not just my human knowledge, but my understanding, my awareness, and continue to glean the wisdom. Knowledge is one thing, wisdom is another. And listen to what? That still small voice that is always within me. And it's always speaking to me if I am willing to what? Be still, be silent. And silent doesn't necessarily mean, you know, our mouth and that we're not talking. Silence is beyond that. It's kind of like willingness. It's another frequency. And with different practices that perhaps you already have in your life, or ones that you are willing to incorporate now and learn more about, you are going to open yourself up to connecting with spirit, with God, with the divine, with the infinite in ways that you have never known. And that energy is going to elevate you in such a way that you won't even be thinking about it anymore. You will just what? You will find that you are the embodiment of it. Your essence, your intuition, all of those things within you will continue to guide you when you say, I am willing to listen. I am willing to be still. What's a big one in Unity we hear about all the time? I'm willing to get out of my own way, right? So we can shift that a little and say, what have we heard before, even in scripture? What? I am the way, the truth, and the life, right? I am willing, and what? I am going to tap into another way of being and allow this most exquisite experience to flow through me like I'm a river. I'm going to be one with that river, and we're going to flow, and we're going to continue to go all the different places that we go, knowing that what? Eventually, we will what? We will be reconnecting with the ocean of oneness. And in that place, guess what? We go, oh, great, I'm back in the ocean. Let me dive even deeper. I've got my scuba gear on. I've got my source gear on. I've got my flippers, whatever the heck it is I need. It's already here. Whether you're a water person or a mountain person, you go on a major hike, maybe to a summit or a peak that you've never been to before, it's all the same. Bottom line is that you get real with yourself. And you say, in the world out there today, how can I be part of the light? And you go, I already am. How can I shine brighter? okay, I'm willing to explore and to open myself up to a new adventure of awareness where I'm going to access what? An energy I've never known before, and I will continue to awaken more fully. That's part of why I'm here. And in that space, I will find the assurance and all the things, the abundance of life that is right there. So I am willing is such a powerful practice that I really invite you to incorporate into your life, to tap into that energy and be willing to say, okay, am I willing to forgive maybe that person? Am I willing to forgive myself? I wanted to bring that in before I wrap up my talk this morning, because oftentimes that energy, and some people sometimes believe there's nothing to forgive, and sometimes that's kind of what my soul reminds me, there's nothing really to forgive. But in our human journey, we oftentimes believe that there is, and wherever your level of consciousness is, it's perfect for where you are. So whatever you're finding yourself bumping up against, I'm willing to see this situation differently. I'm willing to close my outer eyes and open my inner eyes. I am willing. And most of all, I'm willing to be willing. I also want you to know that even if you say, no, there's no way in the world that I'm going to be willing to do any of those things you're talking about this morning, Jeanie. And to that I say, awesome. Right where you are is right where you're meant to be. And for you to have the awareness of where you are on your journey and your path, and to embrace that, and to love yourself right where you are. That's the assurance, that's a promise. You are loved just as you are, wherever you are. And you are amazing, you are divine. And I invite you again to begin to explore and experience yourself, your human self, your higher self, and the world in ways you never have before. Many blessings to all of you in your continued journey of being all that you are. You are so loved, and so it is.
Awaken my heart and help me to see. Awaken my heart to wisdom. Blessings will flow and they help me to know. Awaken my heart to the light. Awaken my heart and help me to see the wonderful world around me. Deep down inside, keep my heart open wide. Awaken my heart to the light. Awaken my heart to the light.
I invite you now, as we move into this time of deeper connection and communion with Source, I invite you to find a comfortable place to be, within and without. Close your eyes if that feels right for you, or leave them open, and just begin to be right here and right now, in this moment, in this sacred space of communion, in this sacred space where we can connect with the ineffable energy of the God of our understanding. I invite you to allow your breath to breathe you right now. knowing that amazing and powerful breath of life has been breathing you from the very first moment you arrived on planet Earth. Your unique and magnificent expression was already blessed so beautifully with this divine breath of God. So allow it right now. Say, I am willing, I am open to allow this breath of life to breathe me. This beloved breath, as it blesses me inside and out, in every cell and fiber of my being. I feel that flow moving into my physical body and traveling into my muscles, opening me more fully, nourishing me, awakening me to this present moment. In this sacred space of now. I feel this divine breath, and I know that it is moving in around and through me, this dynamic energy, being infused by it, being blessed by it, as it desires to open me, to bring me that vitality, that abundance of life, and all the systems of my body and all the organs of my body, in every cell, from the top of my head, the very crown, all the way down to the tips of my fingers and toes, the soles of my feet. I experience this beloved breath, and I allow it to have its way with me. I am willing. I am open to receive these wonderful gifts this morning. I am open to receiving this incredible, magnificent energy of love and light, compassion, understanding, peace, kindness. All these wonderful energies that elevate me in my human self and expand me in my higher self. Melting away all the resistance, any residue that is ready to fall away. I allow it now. As I open, I surrender. I lay it all down. And I remember that in that sweet space, in that sweet spot of surrender, is the remembering. And as I remember, I find myself even more open and willing to say yes. I am open to the guidance, to the direction, to the clarity, to the wisdom that is offered to me today, right here and now. And in this space, I reconnect with the grace and the goodness and the assurance that God is with me always, no matter where I go, no matter where I am, no matter what I see through my human eyes, I am willing to expand and elevate my perception to see through the divine eyes and to be guided in that discernment, As I discern, I learn more about the truth of who and what I am, the world around me, the world within me, and all that God is and will always be. Thank you, Spirit, for this remembrance this morning as I release the resistance and I connect with a different resonance as I tune in to that frequency of knowing that all is well. All is well. All is well. And so it is.
Thank you for all the prayers answered. Thank you for all the gifts bestowed. All through the year I have known that you were near. And thanks for all the blessings in my life. And thanks for all the blessings in my life.
Wow, that was beautiful, beautiful music fitting right along with the talk. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Reverend Jeanie. Oh, that was so inspiring. Now I'm going to be thinking throughout the rest of the week, or throughout the rest of the day, maybe the rest of the week. I'm thinking I am willing. And hopefully I will feel the embodiment of I am. So thank you, Reverend Jeanie. Powerful message and beautiful. Next week, we're going to have Reverend Danny Spears with us again, and our musician will be Jennifer Farron. So please come back next week. It'll be, I'm sure, just as enjoyable and just as enlightening. And now I would like to ask for your support, this opportunity to give this spiritual community that we call home. You can see on your screen different ways to donate. You can do the text to give or click on the donate button on our website. And in addition to the traditional ways of sending your checks directly to Unity of Gainesville. So please know that each and every one of your gifts are important and very much appreciated, and that the energy of your love carries us forward and helps Unity of Gainesville to make a difference in people's lives. So as you prepare your gifts, take them to your heart and set the intention for your giving. And you can say along with me if you want, as long as you're muted, don't cause any confusion here. We'll say now, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I choose to give and all that I am open to receive. I give in love and receive in abundance. Thank you, God. I am so blessed. So Don, can you give us a little musical interlude as we write out our checks or go to text to give or whatever, and we'll enjoy your music you have to offer us.
You can heal your life, do anything that you want to. You can heal your life by opening up your heart. Thinking thoughts anew can make your dreams come true. You can live a blissful life and know a whole new you. You can heal your life, bring wonderful things in focus. You can heal your life, discover new ways to be, knowing at your core that life means so much more. Changing thoughts and loving lots will make your spirit soar. For you can heal your life, bring all the things you want into view. For you can make your dreams come true, and all the things your heart wants just for you. Just change your thoughts and you can heal your life.
Thank you, Don. Let us bless these gifts, knowing they come from love and gratitude to bring abundance to this community in order to be of spiritual service according to divine will. And so it is. And we close our service with the prayer for protection. If you would mute yourself, please, and say that prayer with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I'd like to thank you for attending our virtual service. Many blessings to you as you go through your week, protecting you and your loved ones, being you surrounded by angels, knowing that all is well. And we say amen.